Good evening and welcome to tonight's episode. Good evening, Andy and Amanda. How are you tonight?
Yeah.
Reasonably okay, aren't we?
Yeah, we're alive. I think. Am I mentally alive, Amanda?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm here. This isn't a ghost anyhow. How are you, Colleen?
Yeah, not bad. It's just, it's just been another bizarre week of... It's been really nice and quiet. Really nice and quiet. The streets are empty.
Yeah,
But you do get some who forget that there is a 2-metre distance between others. I think it's just because they're not in the habit of doing this, and therefore it doesn't occur to them that there should be a 2-metre distance between them.
Did you see, Colleen? Did you see the photographs gone online the other day? Oh, and I forgot the photographer's name. A quite famous photographer has been commissioned to take a series of pictures of the London Underground the way it is now, and some people have been comparing it to. Have you ever seen the film 28 Days Later?
No. Is it good?
With the zombies?
It's a zombie one from years ago. I had Robert Carlyle. What's his name? Cillian Murphy, I think it is.
Right.
Yeah, it's done by Danny Boyle. Basically, where they ended up clearing the underground in London for years, and they did it like in a zombie apocalypse. And it was like it was going all down the guy was running for the first half of the film with his sidekicks all over the underground in London, and it was really that was more eerie than the actual monsters themselves. But there's been a series of pictures gone on showing how strange it is because the London Underground at the moment, and it's very strange because, like I said, we're in unprecedented times at the moment, really. And things like this are just very weird. We're not used to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's just like as a few are just talking to their friends and they're saying it's like being in a film.
Yeah, and we were talking about this before, and I don't know if anybody spotted this on ITV4 last week, Amanda, wasn't it? What was that film they did? They showed, and they called the same Contagion. I've not seen it. Now, what's Contagion about, Amanda?
I don't remember it in great detail, but I know enough about it to know it's not really a good film to watch at this time.
Tell people what Contagion's about then. It's about an infection, wasn't it?
Yeah, somebody starts it off like patient zero and then it spreads and spreads. I can't remember how it ends in the film, but I wouldn't want to sit down to watch it right now.
It did make you wonder. Colleen, tell me if you agree with this. Was somebody at ITV4 taking the piss on them when they put that film on?
I don't know what to say, but I just wouldn't want to watch that at the moment because it's so real.
Yeah, it's a bit too close to the truth.
Being in the same film, and you think I don't really want to be in this film.
Yeah, the other one thing that's come up with Colleen this week, and I don't know what your viewing habits are like, is obviously, have you heard the talk going around a bit more? Then we're going to talk about this on our comics podcast when we next speak to Michael, or my friend Michael more. But obviously a lot of all the cinemas are now shut. But they're talking about at the moment some of the big blockbuster films. If the cinema doesn't actually get working in the next couple of months, they're going to start releasing some of the major films straight onto pay-per-view. Say like Wonder Woman 1984. They're talking about not putting it at the cinema and doing a massive pay-per-view thing straight away.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea because at the moment there's nothing a lot of people are doing at home, so that will be something for them to bear in mind and to watch in the time that they're at home. There's a really, really good there's some really good home videos being done, so it's really nice.
Yeah.
Got the parents serving their son and daughter, and it's so funny because you think of work when you do that. In some work you have to say, you have to be like you have to do your work, but you have to like try and get others to go into that frame of mind where they feel welcomed and everything. So you see this like parent saying, "Good afternoon, good evening, young man," or "Good evening, sir. How would you like your milk?" Well, it's like they're playing the waiter, and it's so good. It's like,
what channels?
It's like, what?
Sorry, Claire,
It's BBC News.
BBC News. We've not seen that one before. That's new to us. So it's interesting. I've not seen it, but again, Unfortunately, we don't have a TV, so we can't. Our viewing habits are a bit more unorthodox. But
We've got Netflix and Prime. haven't
yeah, we've been watching lots of stuff on Netflix and Prime, and some of it has been better than others. But I tell you what, everybody, and this is a suggestion that's going around in a minute, and I've told you this before, Colleen, didn't we? That Amanda's been going online to a lot of Zoom seminars recently, haven't you?
Yeah, because there's a writing festival online going on until well into April. And I sat in and watched a ghostwriting conference yesterday because that's something I'm interested in.
And then you watched a poetry reading, didn't you, as well?
Yeah, I closed that halfway through because it wasn't very good.
You lost your connection, Amanda, didn't you?
Yeah, my finger lost a connection by pressing on the X button.
But what, Colleen, did I tell you as well what we're doing Wednesday this week? Do you know when we tell you me and Amanda co-run a poetry open mic, a literature open mic night?
And would you be doing that through Zoom?
Yeah, we're doing that for Zoom this Wednesday, and we've had absolutely loads of interest on it.
Like, you had to open a second night up, didn't you?
Yeah, they got that much demand, Colleen. We're doing them this Wednesday, and we're doing the second one on the 14th of April. And as soon as I shared I didn't tell you this, Amanda, either. As soon as I shared a reminder this morning, I got about five requests saying through. Oh, you've got a slot spare for either of your nights? No.
Well, that's you're beginning to have your internet online followers. So
yeah,
that sounds really interesting.
It's going to be interesting because we sat in on a couple of and this is what people to bear in mind for themselves. And it's like saying you can use your social because I'm flat band now at the moment, unfortunately. And you've got to be careful, Amanda, haven't you, as well? But it lets you get your interaction with people. And that's the one really good thing about the internet, really. Cause you can meet people and chat to them through different means like this, and it's very helpful. And I think if you didn't have this sort of internet at the moment, I mean, people would be cracking up. And
so you won't have to go. You won't have to go on tour then, because you can do your tours or your performances through the internet. So this could be a first for you.
It's interesting, really, because I'm starting to notice bands and stuff announcing. I don't know if you noticed, Amanda. Various artists, I don't know them, announcing they're doing like Facebook live streams.
Yeah, I watched some good ones over the weekend because they had Rock the Facebook course, Rock or something anyway it was called, and they had like lots of different artists on. Some were better than others, but I discovered a few like lesser well known people that were quite good.
There's one on this weekend done for a charity We Shall Overcome, and I forgot the name of the festival they've got on. But they've got upwards of 100 acts coming on various streams, and people will be able to get interaction with live music and stuff through these sort of feeds. It's an interesting time at the moment because with the internet being as strong as what it is, tell me what you think of this, Colleen. Will it change people's viewing habits, do you think, and where they look at things?
So yeah, because then what could happen is that you won't need to perform. As I was saying last week, that we may not have like stages anymore where a vast majority can go and see a live act. We might have to just have those acts on the internet, and then you become like an internet star.
Yeah, I agree.
We're doing YouTube a lot as well, aren't we?
Yeah, come on, Dan.
Yeah, well, I've set myself the challenge to post something on YouTube every day, and Andy's posting. I don't know how often you're posting.
About every day, no, at the moment. So
we're taking it in turns out with to film each other.
What we've got, Colleen, is we've got our little living room set up by the blinds with a little armchair there, so we can go along and read out one or two poems every day and video with them, and take it in turns, and then put them up on YouTube. And we've had some really good feedback on it so far, haven't we, Amanda?
Yeah.
It does seem to be going down really well, that sort of idea. Because I think people like watching little clips like that. So it's something for writers and bear in mind. And the other thing that's come up, Colleen, is there's quite a lot of poetry groups been set up on Facebook at the moment. We've been invited to loads, haven't we?
Yeah.
And I've noticed, Colleen, there's quite a few people and not writers starting to say, it's my first poem. I felt I had to write it, stuck indoors. So people seem to be getting more active in different ways.
That's good, actually. So you're actually encouraging others to perform their poetry. Yeah,
and it's fascinating times because at the moment I've been inundated with requests from a podcast series, Spoken Label, and I've been doing what you know me. I've been doing, Amanda, don't you?
Yeah.
I usually do one a week normally, less than that sometimes. Just do try and. But I've had to start releasing 2 sessions a week now because I've been getting that many people contacting me. And it's been really, really interesting because not to say people I always know even. So I've got one coming up with a lady from Manchester tomorrow, and I've got one with a Welsh lady who I don't know on Thursday, and I've got at least 2 next week and 2 the week after. So it's like they're just all kinds of people contacting me, and it is a really interesting time at the moment. The way the internet, I think, is expanding. It's expanding its reach the way it operates. That's for sure.
Yeah, it sounds good, and it sounds like an entrepreneurial kind of opportunity for you.
Yeah. Now,
yeah.
a friend of mine said to me as well, Randy, who Amanda knows, an American gentleman we know. He said at the moment, he gave me, and he said this sarcastically, because he's very sarcastic, but he's nice of it. He reckons at the moment, everyone wants to buy shares, go and get shares in Zoom.us.
I've been going through the roof.
Yeah, that at the moment, like Zoom itself is like it's a video and conference package, and like obviously we chat on Skype and everybody knows, but Skype you can't have up to 100 people coming on that I'm aware of.
No.
But Zoom, if you give people like I don't know, what do you know about Zoom, Colleen? Do you ever use it?
No, you mentioned it last week, and that's the first time I've heard of it. I'm sure it's going to be like something
it's going to be
that
massive.
interests you.
It's massive.
As I was saying, I just use the YouTube mainly for just like little events and anything that crops up.
You're getting like YouTube. People are doing feeds live on YouTube all the time as well. And Instagram's a big one for it.
Yeah.
There's all these sites like the social media ones that you can do live feeds. People seem to be, like artists and stuff, seem to be very, very keen on doing it. I saw a concert the other day, Colleen, that I've made you smile. They called it an isolation concert where... I showed you this one, Amanda, didn't I?
I vaguely remember
yeah,
you
a 4-piece
it.
band. What they went and did was set up 4 cameras on their various houses. And then they all linked them all together. So you heard a band doing a live concert for 4 different houses.
Well, so it's all viewing at once. It's all streaming at once.
Yeah, all streaming at once. And
so how do they get the 4 onto the screen?
Haven't a clue. It sounded really good. It did sound good, but it's they reckon that sort of thing's going to happen more because people can't get out. But you can do. There must be a package where you can do like live rehearsal online and stuff like that.
Because you've got to make sure that everything's playing at the right time, and otherwise, if one person's playing out of line with everyone else, it's not going to sound right, is it?
Yeah, and there's been quite a few new companies cropped up. I've heard of another one. Oh, I forgot the name of it. Very similar to Zoom, that's only been set up the past month. But they reckon the actual quality of the calls on that is even better than on Zoom what we're using. But it seems to be like I said, there's a lot of this sort of stuff suddenly expanded, and in some ways it's a good thing because I think it's making people.
Yes.
It's making people, I think, interact with each other more in different ways. I think it stops you being selfish as much when you're outside. You appreciate what you've got more in life, I think.
You may not even have to leave your flat. You can just like do all your streaming online.
Yeah, there's another.
The only thing with online is it is becoming a bit more closer than you think, and with 5G, there's a difference again in the 5G. There is a difference in the concept of it now, so that things that can happen will happen. 5G is really powerful.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've not really used it yet, 5G, Joshua, but I know there's been good and bad things said about it. With 5G coming in like it has, Amanda, it's an next-stage internet powerfulness. And I think, again, well, they reckon, can't we, something like we could be under quarantine for the next 6 months in some way or another. Well, if that's the case, it's perhaps a good thing that more powerful internet's coming in. Because, there's been... Colleen, who are you with internet-wise?
Oh, I'd rather not say, just in case.
Okay.
Because I've been getting like crashes on my internet because I think, quite a few people know my internet provider, so I get little crashes.
Yeah, we'll avoid it. We'll avoid it. The one we're with has sent us a number of emails up round explaining. And I showed you these emails, didn't I?
Yeah.
About about how they're trying to increase the strength of the actual internet. So, Colleen, it's 15 minutes.
Exactly. Well, keep